Okay, great. So let's carry on with 71 to 75. So that's the aim here. Now that's our next batch of questions to power through. 71 to 75. So what do we have? We have this question that tells us that they want us to find the cost driver rate. So we have the total annual budget, and then they give us these monthly. So we need to, well, let's add these all together. So let's find out what the total is. 54 plus 6. 54 plus 6 plus 10 plus 2 plus 12 takes us to 84,000. And then add all these together. 600 plus 500 plus 800 plus 1,000 plus 600. 600 plus 500 plus 800 plus 1,000 plus 600 is 3,500. So this is monthly. So I want the annual. So I'm going to multiply this by 12, and then I'm going to get 42,000. So the cost driver rate literally is the 84,000 divided by the 42,000, which is £2. So that's my starting point, and then I can then sort of then take, if you like, yes, and then what I can then do is then work with that £2 based on what I need to do. So this question is actually that's straightforward. It's not really pushing anything more in terms of invoices, because these are the number of invoices. So I'm going to argue that the invoices are the driver, and that's kind of how we are going to deal with this. And so that's the answer. The answer there is £2, if you like, per invoice, and that's that. 73. What are we saying over here? They use ABC to allocate. Total cost is 288 a year. A year. And then it says each month. So if it's each month, that's therefore for the year, the allocation, the cost driver rate must be that divided by that, and this brings me to £2 as well per process, the cost of processing. So that's £2 per process, so to speak. And then it says here that the highway department per £2 per processing of each payment, and the highway makes 9,900 payments a year. So therefore, what I have now would be for the whole year for the highway department, I would have 19,800, and so my answer would be C. My answer would be C for that. Question 73. Question 74. So again, like I said, always be very careful. What you can see here is that always watch out for these sort of questions where they give you some new information. So typically there'll be some old information in here. Typically this is from traditional based costing. You'll have figures in there, but then they give you some information to kind of reassess. Remember, we have traditional based costing, which has been using labor and machinery. Now we have a better method, ABC. So ABC now says, okay, listen, here's the actual overhead. These are the total overheads. I can actually break it down and give you a better, clearer understanding of what's really going on. So I'm just going to go to a blank screen just because there's quite a lot of it here. Maybe better to do it here. So hopefully you can see your screens. So let's just deal with the overhead. So it's telling us that for processing, hope you can see the question. It says you have a total cost of 22,000, and this 22,000 tells you 70% of that goes to A, and therefore 30% goes to B. So when I split that up, 70% of 22,000 gives me 13,400, and 30% of 22,000 gives me 6,600. Then it says that quality control 8,000 is split again, based 80% to A and 20% to B. So you have 80% of 8,000 giving you 6,400, and here you have 1,600. And then finally For packaging, you have 10,000, and then you have 62%, and here you have 38%, so 62%, so that's 6,200, and here you have 3,800. So our focus in this question in particular is on B. So what we need is, we need this plus this plus this to find out what the new total overhead cost is for all the units of B. And we know we have 500 units. So this plus 6,600 plus 1,600 plus 3,800 gives us 12,000. And this 12,000 divided by 500 comes out at 24 pounds. So now I know, so I'm going to go back to my, I'll keep it, doesn't matter, I'll keep it. So now I know that my cost, my overhead cost, if you like, is 24. So labor overheads, it was labor overhead, so this is no longer, this isn't 20, this is the new rate. The new rate I should be using is 24. So I'm told it's the labor overheads that I've been analyzed. The machine overheads as they are, I've split them, we're keeping those. It's just the labor that we're dealing with here. So the labor, this will go, and we will replace it with our new answers that we derive from here. So for my product B, I'm selling each. The question is, what is the profit? Yes, what would be the profit of the product B? So I'm selling at 80. Cost is therefore direct cost of 30, machine overhead of 20, and my ABC has told me my new value should be 24. So I now have, yes, this all becomes 74, and therefore my profit is 80 minus 74, and I have a profit of 6. So the answer is C. The answer is C. And finally, in this area, in this section, we will look at question 75. And it's very similar to what we did in an earlier question. But let's just analyze it again. Let's find the cost rate. I sort of know where they're going now, so I'm just going to find the cost rate first. And the cost rate here is 25,000 divided by 12,000, right? That's 2 pounds. 30,000 divided by 3, that's 10 pounds. 50,000 divided, and that's 5. I'm sure I could actually eliminate some of these questions earlier. The cost driver rate for cost pool 1 is greater than cost pool 3. No, that's not true. That's 2, and that's 5. The cost driver rate for 2 is less than, no, that's not true. That's 10, and that's 5. Now, so I need to do some work. So for product B, for cost pool 1, product A will absorb 2 times 8, which is 16. So they'll take 16. 2 times 4,500, that's 9,000. So product A will absorb 5,000 more than, so 9 plus 5, no, it's actually taking 7,000 more. So that's not correct. I'll just prove this one. So cost pool 2, 10 times 2 is 20. 10 times 1 is 10. And yes, product A will take 10 more than that, right? That's 20, that's 10. So the answer is D. The answer is D. Great, and that's those questions. That's the questions for questions 70 to 75, and I'll see you in the next set of videos.